both races together as a journey. We did it, Reddit. There we go, across the line.
We got Coanda back on the top of the mountain. They win the 24 Hours of Daytona. At the line, Evolution Racing Team get it.
ER team managing to make it work where it matters.
Welcome, race fans, here tonight as we're getting ready to take on good old Texas Speedway here with the Indy cars with Area 51. Hopefully everybody's going to enjoy tonight's broadcast and enjoy tonight's broadcast, as I am going to be with my co-fellows up here in the booth with me again. Bring them up here. We're going to be with accompanied here tonight, like always. We got Soda Can Johnson, or known as Brian Johnson, and Zach Hall, or Captain Crunch, or known as Zach Hall. How you guys doing tonight?
Hello everyone, doing pretty good. Here for another week at Area 51. It's gonna be fun.
Yes, sir, it is. I hope everybody out there is doing good as always, and here for another amazing night at Area 51, as you said, Brian.
Yes, I know I'm ready, as we've seen some action-packed racing with these, as we've seen somebody just go flying through the pit road. But anyways, we had some action-packed racing last week at Indy. I don't know who that was. Somebody just went shooting across my screen there. But we had some
loosened trioval.
Loosened trioval. Okay, that's what happens. You go, oh, well, you know what? We might see a car tonight finishing on the hood. Well, that's not a hood.
You never know.
What is that? That's an open case.
Well, it's a nose
bonnet.
Okay.
Well, I guess you call it a roll hoop. You call it a roll hoop.
They call it a roll hoop?
Yep.
Okay. Well, see, Zach's been doing some studying, apparently. Well, Zach kind of knows these cars.
Well, F1 cars is the same thing. It's just it's a structure where they can actually pick these cars up with a crane. It's like a crash tested structure that can't be. It's supposed to withstand forces of a crash, so it doesn't break.
Oh yeah. Because when these things are upside down, the first point of contact is right behind that driver where the intake for the engine is. So that part of the car's got to be super strong.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Well,
yes, sir, it does.
Well, like I said, though, we had some action packed last week at good old Indianapolis, and tonight these guys are going to be taking on Texas Speedway. From what I understand, they're going to be hitting around 230 plus miles per hour here tonight.
Yeah. Oh yes, it's gonna be 230 plus easily, especially with that draft. They've done the schedule pretty good here because we took the Indy cars to Indy last week, and then now we're at Texas. And Texas Motor Speedway in the IndyCar series is actually a pretty special track. I mean, the amount of stupid, crazy finishes that they have in real life here is insane. I mean, I can think of a couple with Dario Franchitti. That were just amazing finishes. I think a couple were 3 wide at start-finish line. It's super close races. So tonight here at Area 51, I will expect the same.
Yeah, you could definitely expect that, Brian. I think a lot of side-by-side racing action is what we're going to see here tonight. And it's interesting. We were at the mecca of I would say of these cars and really American motorsports in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway last week with these cars. And this isn't a knock on Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which I love the track, but I personally feel like this high banked oval is more of a fit for racing for these cars. So I think we're going to see even more spectacular overtaking maneuvers, really just slingshots past each other early in the runs. And then, I want to see what these cars do in the long run. I know we talked about last week, we didn't get to see that many long runs, but you never know. We might see a pretty good long run here. and we'll see, how these cars how much fall off do these tires, or these Firestone tires. I almost call them Goodyears, but these Firestone tires have here, because this track definitely will eat them up here in the high of the day here in Texas.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Zach. These cars are built for this track. It's going to be great. Texas, in a stock car, you kind of have a couple lanes to work with, mainly just the bottom. But these cars, you can, definitely 2-lane racetrack, maybe even 3. There's going to be, it's like you said, going to be some crazy runs to be had, some awesome passes. So tonight is going to be really, really good. Indy, again, I like it too, but just you got the flat corners, and you're kind of restricted at that track with what you can do here. That momentum, you just keep it on rolling, and with the aero that these cars generate, you're going to have grip for days in the corners, at least on the short run, I think. But we saw some crazy runs last week at Indy, and I think we're going to see some even better ones this week. So it is going to be good. I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really going to be the multi-groove that attributes to the racing here tonight. You're going to be able to see the guys use both lanes, really up to 3 lanes possibly. I'm not saying that the bottom lane will be the preferred lane, of course, but you're going to see guys all over the place here tonight, as you're going to have somewhere to go with the big run. So it'll be interesting. But I think, what do you think is going to be the issue, Brian? Here in a stock car, we usually tend to be pretty tight coming out of 2, to where it flattens out. Sometimes it'll get loose off there, and then in 3 and 4, it seems like the corner where it tends to be a little bit looser overall in general through the center. I don't know much about these Indy cars, but I want to see what's the handling characteristics of these cars with these corners, because these are 2 different corners, definitely.
Yeah, I think 3 and 4 might actually not be that bad in these cars. Just is my speculation. I think 2, that exit, where you were talking about it pushing up towards the wall, and then it flattens out and it gets loose all of a sudden in that stock car. I think it may be a little bit of that in this car, but what's really going to help this car manage that exit of 2 is going to be that front wing. That's really going to help the grip levels to keep it from pushing up. But when it flattens out, that's actually, with all that downforce on that front wing, it might make the loose off maybe more of a problem. But then you got the rear wing. I think it's not going to be as much of an issue. But I think in dirty air, you may have to check up on the exit if you're not careful.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a possibility. I think you're going to see a lot of people having the trouble with the dirty air, probably coming off of 2 and 4. So it'll be interesting there for sure. I mean, we're all learning here, and I'm sure these will be some great guys to watch here turn laps at this fine racetrack here in Texas. And at the moment, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies here today in Texas, with the 68-degree air temperature. And then the track is actually around 84 degrees, so it tends to be, I'd say, a medium heated track. It's not super cool, but it's not hot either. So very interesting. Not a lot of wind either with the north wind.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to mention that track temp, 84 degrees. I think it's, if it was hotter, I think you might see a bit more of an issue with the cars pushing on the entry of the corner. Maybe is again my first guess, but 84 degrees, I feel like that's a pretty good medium for this track and this car combination. Not too cold, not too hot. I think it's right in that sweet spot, and it's again, it's just going to lead to great racing. I don't think you could pair a car and a track any better than these 2.
Well, you guys are talking, Jim Brooks up there, we're going to be calling him the Magic Man, as of what he did last week to get his win, is actually sitting up on the top right now in practice to 23.713 so far.
That he is.
Hey, you got a 713, and then behind him you got Eric Laurie. He's running a 23.85. Jude Conrad, a 23.85. James Ledford, a 2385. Jack Walls a 2386. So those guys, those front runners are right on top of each other.
Oh, and then you got David Leclerc with the 2390, and then you got Charles Johnson with the 2393. So I mean, you might as well just say the whole field's like right on top of each other.
I mean, we seen what Charles Johnson did at Indy last week, how fast he could come through the field. So we'll have to see. And David Leclerc also looks strong there too. So going to be interesting with these guys with the IndyCar. But one thing I will put out with Jim Brooks running at 2371. He also right after that ran at 2381. So he has 2 laps faster than the field. So that's his second fastest lap is still the fastest lap of the session. So heck of a lap there from. And the lap before that was even at 89. So 3 laps back to back that were, top tier.
Indy man of the league, Magic Jack. That's a shame his name ain't Jack, because that would be cool. Call him Magic Jack.
His name's Jim.
Oh, Magic Jim. Yeah, but you remember Magic Jack? You remember the little Magic Jacks that you could use to plug in and run off your wireless make phone calls? It's called Magic Jack. You remember them?
No.
No, I think.
Oh my goodness gracious! I am old.
Is that from the car phone ages?
No, it's past that. You can connect it through your internet, and you can make phone calls, and they give you a number, and you pay like a $4.95 a fee month for unlimited phone calls. Yeah.
Must have been back when you could hear the internet through the phone.
No, it was during a high-speed cable.
It was after that?
Yeah, it was high-speed cable. Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, we're not talking the AOL days.
You have mail.
Exactly.
You have mail.
Well, let's talk about mail. Well, kind of mail.
Guys are hauling mail.
Yeah, they are. But you want to let's have a quick talk about our sponsorships here tonight.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. So tonight, as always, we have iPitting.com with us. You can head over there to iPitting.com on your favorite web browser. Because it's all web browser based. You ain't got to download it. So that's pretty nice. So, you're running iRacing and you're like, man, I really want to know how I'm doing. And iRacing's data pages are okay, but it's kind of bland, and there's some things I would like to know. I wish it was all in one place. Well, iPitting is your answer to that. All the data you could think of is all put together in nicely presented graphs, and it's just beautiful. It's great. All the data you could think of, schedules, results, championship points, standings. It'll tell you if you're doing all this IMSA stuff lately and you're running different cars and you're like, man, I really, I'm kind of on the fence between these two. I wish I would know which one is better. Well, iPitting can help you with that too. And it's also great for the team-based stuff. Individual stats and team-based stats. So it's best of both worlds. And then it's also a great way to put all of your iRacing endeavors and achievements onto social media like Facebook, Twitter, and then Twitch as well. You can stream to Twitch through iPitting, and you may even be featured on that the iPitting homepage. So go check out iPitting.com.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Another great sponsor we have here tonight with us is the Dirty Air Podcast. And the Dirty Air Podcast will be making its return here in February very soon for its 2020 season with NASCAR starting back up. So definitely check them guys out at Dirty Air Podcasts on Facebook and Twitter. And also you can go back and listen to all their previous episodes from the 2019 season where they cover the 2019 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. So make sure you look up Dirty Air Podcasts on all your favorite audio platforms, and you can check out one of their previous episodes and stay tuned to their social media for updates on when their new episode in February is coming out. So check out the Dirty Air Podcast, and those are our sponsors here tonight for Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
And don't worry, we won't give you any spoilers.
Oh yeah,
that's an inside.
Okay.
Not really.
Not really.
If you're up to date, it's not an inside joke. Zach gets it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, well, yeah, he gets it because I don't get it, so.
I don't get it.
No, you get it.
I get it.
He got it. I know one thing. Duke didn't get it.
Oh, let's not talk about it. There's a good race to talk about.
I had to. I'm sorry. I just had
It's
to.
all right. It happens.
Happens one too many times for Duke.
How many has Villanova lost, Robert?
I don't know. Let's not go there. Okay, now back to the race.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he wants to talk about racing again, huh?
Yeah, we're just going to talk about the Indy cars.
Oh, man, Brett. Well, speaking of, Brian Coffin just beat Bud Steele's time here at 24:020. He out Bud Steele's 24:051.
Yeah.
Who is on top of Dude Conrad's 24:080? I mean, these times are incredible.
Yeah, I mean, think about a cup car right here, Brian. Just how much faster these guys are going. It's amazing. 24 flat around this track almost. And then the draft 23s.
Yeah.
It's mind
Let's see
blowing.
if I can do a quick and dirty calculation. Let's see here.
Well, it looks like Jim is going to decide not to qualify here tonight. Even though
He didn't at Indy, Robert, either. He rode in the back with Indy. I think he likes to save his fashion pairs in his back pocket. I think he stays clean early in these races. He knows he's got 100 laps to get up there.
Yeah.
So he saves his best for last.
Well, that and as we seen last week, these cars are known to go flying out of the world, like literally. I forget what Brian called them again last week. It was crazy.
Space shuttles.
Yeah.
Is that what you call them?
No, it was something about Dirty Dancing. I said about break dancing.
Oh, the Delara dance.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm sure we're going to see
seen
some.
it.
Well, I'm sure we'll see one. One of these weeks we'll see one. If not, we'll see them tomorrow when we'll be live back here with these guys here at 8:55 again for the recruitment race, second race of their season there, as they ran the Cup cars last week. And tomorrow will be the Indy cars at Indy for, I believe you said, Brian, 75 laps, correct?
Yes, I do believe so.
Okay, so we'll be live at 8:55 to see that fun race as, what's his name won last week? I do apologize.
Levi.
Thank you. I knew it was on the tip of my
Cox.
tongue. I just couldn't get it off my, Yep, so, all right, well, looks like we're getting ready to go. It looks like Brian Kaufman is going to start on the pole here tonight, and we'll wait for everybody to hop on the track here, and we'll bring up our starting grid if we want to run through our top 10 starting grid here tonight at Area 51 at Texas Motor Speedway.
Let's do it. Well, tonight, your pole sitter is going to be Brian Kaufman with a 24:028, which, according to my calculations here, is an average of 192.66 miles an hour. That's flying. But then behind him, or rather beside him, we have Bud Steele in second place. Behind Brian Kaufman is going to be Dude Conrad in third. Then we have Corey Lane in fourth, David Leclerc fifth, Jack Ball sixth, James Ledford seventh, Timothy T. Wright in eighth, Kyle Hess ninth, and Eric Laurie is going to round out our top 10 tonight. And man, I'm excited. 192 mile per hour average. Around a 1.5 miler.
Wow. That's. I remember I remember we ran these cars a while ago, a good year ago at a league, back at Racing Freaks days. But they weren't with these new cars, and I remember
the DW12.
Yeah, and I remember just hanging on for dear life. I mean, it was crazy. These are the type of cars that I think I'd like to race, but my problem is I get too scared. Is my problem.
That's one of my problems too, Robert. It's too quick for me.
Yeah, if you're not used to doing it, I mean, I'm sure in due time, being a sim racer, you get used to it, but
yeah, sure.
I second guess myself too much out there. You know, that's my problem.
Well, see, I was thinking about this earlier. You know, with a stock car, you can kind of just ease into a mood. You know, you don't have to commit to it fully at the beginning while you're making it. You know, stock car, you can kind of ebb and flow and all that. But these cars, it seems like once you make a move, you gotta commit. You gotta stick to it.
I agree.
And so I mean, you have to have some big cojones to do some of the moves that you guys are.
Yeah. Yepers. All right, well, gonna get ready to rock and roll here for 100 laps. Thank you everybody tuning in out there on the YouTube and the Facebook side of things, and waiting for that pace car to duck in as we see him pulling down the pit lane. Green's out. Here we go, guys. Hang on. It's gonna take probably about a half a lap, roughly, you think, to be up to speed?
I think so. I was just about to say, you know, you can hear them when the green flag dropped and they revved up, just that engine is bogging out. Such tall gears in these things.
I'm not sure if they're running the stock Indy or if it was modified there by Charles Johnson. David Leclerc had a little close call there.
Yeah, he said hi to the apron, and the apron didn't want to say hi.
That's what I did notice on practice. Apron. You get them left side tires on that yellow, white line. Whew, man, hang on.
Yeah, it's one of those things. There's, it's just like the stock cars. There's a lot of grip down there, but you know, with the stock cars, you can hit the apron a little bit and be safe. But these things, you saw what just about happened with David Leclerc.
Yeah.
And
That's
look at
scary.
Corey Lane from 4th to 2nd the first lap. There's Bud Steele starts to peek his nose out to the top side there in 3rd.
Yeah, hopefully he can survive. Last week he got wrecked out, even though he was doing pretty well. Oh, and is that David Leclerc again hitting that apron?
No, that's Dude. And the 8.
Yeah, it was Dude, yeah.
Oh, and look at him, this freight train. Hello, coming through. Beep, beep.
Yeah, it's stacked up the field. The top 3 has now got a pretty sizable gap to the rest of the field.
Well, they look pretty good, clean racing, though, I must admit, though.
Yeah, it's good. Giving each other lots of room. That's what you need.
And up front, Bud's still going for the lead. Out of 2. Back here in the pack. Battle for 8th, 9th, 10th with Jack Walls, Michael Spell, Kyle Hess, Charles Johnson, Jim Brooks, Robert Richards, and Eric Laurie. It's all going on down back here.
Yeah, Bud, he's looking on the outside in the straights. Like he's hoping that run will carry him out there. It looks like it will this time by, but I think in the corner, just can't quite, you know, that distance. I think it's that distance that you cut with the bottom.
The bottom's still very much preferred.
Just lose some ground there, but he's trying to work that air, work his runs. But I think maybe in a few laps once the tires are heated up, maybe even worn a little bit, he might have some better luck.
You can see a few of the guys up in the middle lane. A lot of guys I noticed. Really, other than our leader Brian Kaufman, who's running around the bottom. And you'll see Corey Lane kind of drop to the bottom there too.
It might be similar to you know, what we saw last week with, at Indy, maybe being on the inside, maybe a little bit more tire wear. So if you're running that middle lane, maybe a little bit less tire wear. Although since there's not a car on your outside, and you're not being pinched down low, I wouldn't imagine it'd be a huge difference. Bud got a big run coming out of 2 there.
Yeah, he did. Just ain't able to get enough to get even really a nose out ahead. So right now, I think he's just riding. And back here, Jack Walls. Look here, Brian. That 83.6.
Oh no, Eric Laurie.
Eric Laurie.
The wall. He climbed the wall in the fence.
He is 50-50 grinding the wall right now.
He's sitting on the wall. Wow. Look at him. He's still stuck in the fence.
He's in the fence, guys.
Never seen anything like that.
Well, luckily this is virtual.
Yeah, let's go back in the replay and let's go in the roll bar and ride with him. Here we go. 071's coming out of 3 and 4. Swinging back and forth. Oh, he hits the wall, rides the wall, and here we go, guys. Whee! And you can hear him. Oh man, he don't even let off the gas. He's just holding it, hoping the car will get off the wall. But now listen to it. Oh man, I love the engine sounds of these things.
It's perfectly balanced up there.
Right? It did sit there, but you know, not only that, the engine sounds in these things just got such high pitch, windy sound. Sounds like a weed whacker.
Oh yeah, well you got this small displacement of a V6 turbocharged, screaming at 12,000 RPM. So yeah, completely different noise than what we're used to.
I also
Does
believe they're
sound
twin
good.
turbo.
Are they twin?
I believe they're V6 twin turbos. Pretty sure. I may be wrong about that though.
I'm sure somebody out in the chat knows until we look it up. Oh, as I know, I got my pen out though, guys. Here, I'm ready for the write down the fuel mileage, so we know for the future. Oh boy, which we won't know right now because it looks like everybody's coming in the pit here with 12 laps completed.
Yeah.
Except for Bud. No, Bud did. No, so we did have one vehicle stay out. Guess he wanted to lead a lap, maybe? What you were saying there, Zach?
2.2 liter twin turbo V6. 2.2 liter, so.
Yeah, 2.2 liter double overhead cam V6 6-speed paddle shift gearbox. Weighs about 1,600 pounds. The fuel in these things, they run some E85 ethanol plus 15% gasoline from Sunoco, of course. Wherever would you get your racing fuel? It is twin turbocharged. Got some Borg Warner turbochargers on there. Yeah, got some pretty good information right. Looks like they're running anywhere between 18 and 24 pounds of boost. So a sizable boost. Yeah. The
That's
turbocharger,
a lot of boost.
Well, listen to this. The turbocharger spin rev limit is 150,600 RPMs on super speedways, including Indianapolis. Yeah, including Indy. And then just a little bit less on short ovals. So, I mean, that turbocharger going. Saying, you know,
that explains the windiness.
Yeah, engine's spinning at 12,000 RPM. You think that's a lot? 150,000 RPM.
Compressing you some nice air.
Whew.
Bunch
That
of
is. All right. Well, there's a rundown on the Indy cars. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and
we're not done yet.
Yeah, maybe on the. So I guess when we go to road courses, it's when they use the push to pass button. That adds 60 horsepower worth of power in that little button. So. Green. Going to school on the Indy car. As we're going back green.
Wow, yeah, I wasn't ready for that. But we are back green here as Bud did not pit. He stayed out.
Yeah. Light on fuel here too, so maybe a little quicker. Don't think the tires are going to be a big issue.
Going to be quicker, but he's going to have some more drag on that rear wing. It's going to be sticking up just a little bit compared to everybody else.
I think the draft is just so strong in these vehicles no matter where you go.
Oh yeah, it's going to be tough to get away. It's going to take a really long run for guys to be able to get away from each other. And right now, side by side, Brian Kaufman and Corey Lane fighting for that second position there. James Leffler 4, Jack Walls now back to 6 with Jim Brooks actually breaking into the top 5 from starting dead last.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, see if they
able to navigate.
Go back to back.
Magic Man. Man, look, the whole field is stacked. 2 by 2 by 2. Slicing, dicing. Moving up the track, down the track.
Man, somebody just drove around. I gotta learn. I gotta learn these cars. Somebody drove around. Somebody blew the door off of them on the outside, back mid-back.
Blew the door off them.
I want to say that's about.
Moving up a little bit here, and that's 6th and 7th.
I think it may have been Charles Johnson actually. Yeah.
In the 28. You should know that number by now.
Well, the problem is I can't see the number on the car. Who's squarely back there?
That's true. Yeah, there's somebody back there. That's okay, chat out there. We'll figure it out. Just
Just gotta get them paint schemes down. That's what I'm working on.
Oh, big run from Brian Kaufman right there.
you sure that's who that was?
Sling shot himself in the second.
Sorry, I just had to make a joke in that one.
Let's say I can count to 3.
And Bud's still in the little bit less fresh tires, just holding on just fine. Wow,
That got close.
how close that was between him and Brian.
And we seen it last week where it doesn't take much to just barely get into the rear of the guy in front of you.
Charles Johnson moves himself up in the 4th now.
Yeah, he's coming with a head of steam. Again, he knows how to read the air and read the runs that he gets, and he knows exactly what to do.
Yeah, Jim Brooks sliding past James Ledford on the bottom there, so will Jack Walls. Slide Jim Brooks up to 5th. Drop James Lester back to 7th as Jack Walls moves into 6th. And here goes David Leclerc. And oh man, so James Ledford losing a lot of positions here on the outside of 48.
Big run from Brian Kaufman on the outside looking for the lead, but I think it's reverse roles from the last run when Bud Steele was up there trying to get that done. Just not going to work out right now.
That's for sure. And you can see these guys are all stacked up on each other. The top 8 or 9 are within a second.
Well, we're riding along inside the cockpit with Charles Johnson, and he's hitting 220 going into turn 1. Let's see what he does going into turn 3. 224,
He's coming out of
25.
turn 2 at 220.
225.
Wow. That was compared to Bud's 220 out front.
5 miles per hour
guys.
difference. Yeah, that's huge.
There he is working outside of Corey Lane there. Seems like Charles Johnson has a bit more success up on that high side. I say that, now it's going to look low. Corey Lane looks high. He's switch positions.
Very distance between all these guys here.
And actually, Corey Lane going to that middle lane there in 3 and 4, they got him a pretty decent run.
Yeah.
Going into
Ooh, and look at the block back here. That got put on David Leclerc by, I think, Robert Richards. Wow. Some aggressive moves already seen throughout the field.
I don't know.
Charles Johnson tries to get outside.
Do you call it aggressive moves, though, Zach? I mean, these things got such a draft to it. I don't know if they're actually trying to be aggressive.
Well, I would say a block was aggressive, maybe.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, I don't see to me, personally, I don't think it's aggressive moves. That's just my opinion. I just think these things get such a run to whoever that was. I'm a Brian now. There's a car back there going high.
I've noticed what Brian Kaufman's doing, so... they touch in the middle.
Lane.
They door each other.
If
they had
Tire
doors.
each other.
What they do? They tired each other?
Yeah. David Leclerc too now, big move. Oh, someone took a
Charles Johnson, big run, gonna try to take second away from Brian Kaufman there, and he will veer him.
Look at the big run here.
Yeah, big run. I've noticed Brian Kaufman when he was still in second. So what he does is he's running that second lane in the beginning, in the middle of the corner, and coming out on the exit, he'll turn down, get the draft off of the car in front of him, and that'll give him a big run going down the stretch just to try to get to his outside and make something work. It seems like that's it's Charles Johnson darts to the inside underneath Bud Steele.
Yeah.
Pushes a little bit underneath him. Got a little tight there to see
Side by
if he
side
can
for the
lead
lead.
this lap.
Bud.
Wow.
22,000 says this red car here. Who's that? David Leclerc. He got a pretty big run. Now we're 2 by 2.
Here comes
First
Corey
fourth.
Lane.
Looks like Charles is gonna clear, and it looks like
Oh,
How
Brian.
did they not wreck?
They didn't.
They're tire kissing. It's okay.
No.
That's crazy. I mean, like you said, Brian, how did they not
that
wreck?
guy-
I mean, that's oh boy.
Guys, we're in the top 10 within 1 second. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, that, you know, that they restarted, stacked up on top of each other, and then kind of got spread out. And here we are, about 10, 15 laps into this run. Now they're all stacked up on top of each other again.
And Jack back there in 83, he did clip the apron a little bit a couple laps ago.
God, that's getting close.
Wow, how did? See, I would have done wrecked. I would have went into a panic attack is my problem. Because I'm the type of driver, the last thing I want to do is wreck somebody. Not that anybody wants to wreck anybody, but I fear that really bad. So something like that happening, you know what I mean? Then I really get a panic attack going.
What's interesting?
Oh, sorry, Brian.
I was just going to say, what's interesting here is Brian Kaufman, maybe about 10 laps ago, last time we talked about it, the speed going in and coming out, it was about 220 on entry and exit and in the middle of the corner, and now it's down to like 212, 213 on exit. So quite a bit of speed lost over a short amount of time.
Very much so. And right now, like what I was thinking about is we're 33 laps here, completing 33rd lap of this race. Well, it hasn't pit yet. Of the 70% tank, I wonder how far Bud is, how long before he has to pit, because remember, we had a caution about 10 laps into this race, so he has about 10 laps less of fuel than these guys. So when does Bud start having to worry about hitting pit road here?
12 laps difference.
12, so yeah.
And that's not counting the yellows, so.
Oh, that's not counting the yellows. So you got 12 green flag laps, and then what about 3 caution laps?
Well, I'm talking about fuel-wise. It counts the
Yeah,
laps, but if you're going to put fuel into the
I think Bud's
ratio,
about that pit right here,
so
getting down low.
I think that's short.
Oh, yeah.
David,
My
they're
spider
almost
sense
got
was
a face.
tingling.
we're looking at 35 laps.
Yeah, my pit sense was tingling, and that is with the caution. So we're looking at probably
Right.
around 30, maybe.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
maybe about 32-ish.
Yeah. So these guys could probably make it around 42, 44 lap 44, maybe somewhere around there. We'll see.
Yeah, so if you can make it 30 laps.
Jack Wall's up to the outside. He's come out of nowhere in this 83.
If it goes green, you're looking at a 2-stop, and just barely. These guys are so close to each other, running over 200 miles an hour. Texas Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at this track temp. I haven't looked at it in a while. 81 degrees, so it's dropped 4 degrees.
Wow.
So, bit more grip out there, I would assume.
For sure, for sure.
The track looks very clean, meaning on the rubber side of things. It looks like these tires today are not putting down too much rubber.
Yeah,
As
well,
of yet.
we started out in practice with 46% rubber, so
Okay.
it might be kind of tough to tell just how much rubber we have laid down since we started up with about half rubbered up track.
Right. Okay.
And we got 14 guys running outdoors.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing that I equate to that is Indy's a one-lane racetrack compared to where these guys really spread out in the groove, and you know, it kind of lays the rubber more evenly over the race surface, other than just in that one thick groove. So
Man, these cars, I can just see them going through the corner, wanting to push out towards the wall. These guys in the gray
Yeah.
area trying so hard to keep it out of the wall.
it looks like they're just fighting turbulence. A lot of these guys, it's almost they're going fine, and all of a sudden you see like the cars start bobbling, and then you can say, "Wow, he's probably playing with the throttle at that point."
I mean, these guys, first, second, third, fourth, all nose to tail.
Yeah.
Not even 3 feet in between each car. Seems like they're kind of stuck right now. Not a whole lot of moves to be made. There's got to be, like you said, Zach, that turbulence. on top of these tires, just starting to get a little worn out, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would think so. But Jack Walls is fighting good on the outside, actually staying even almost with Charles, and sometimes doing a little better. Charles is never really pulling up and taking that line away from him, so he's keeping it down low. We'll see how that affects the tires here, but I think like we thought, they're about to pit here pretty soon, so probably gonna see a lot of these guys motioning down. Yeah, you see Jack here going to the bottom. I think we might see some pit stops made this time. Oh yeah,
I think so. Maybe came up on the radio that he slowed up a lot sooner than Bud Steele did. But at the same time, he's been in the pack, been in that draft. That's the thing that's going to hurt Bud Steele, is that he had to pit all alone, so he doesn't have any drafting points. Help him get runs on the straights. So it looks like maybe Charles Johnson is going to be coming down the pit here.
Yeah. You know, another thing is see if anybody saves. Sorry about that, right? See if anybody saves some fuel here, maybe, because you said it's pretty close, isn't it? Wouldn't it be, Brian?
Yeah. It would be, because if we're getting about 30, 32 laps, and we're starting to pit right now. Another 30 laps, it would be 75. And another 30, that'd be another. So it's not as close as I thought it would be. I thought they would have had to come down and pit by now, but
it looks like we're looking between 32 to 35 laps.
Ooh, and Charles Johnson made a big mistake there. Took out the cone on the entry. That's gonna be a penalty. But these guys here right now that have not pitted yet, guys, they're on lap 34. Wow. Getting ready to go, about ready to complete lap 34 to start lap 35. Yeah, so they're still out there. So he goes another one. I wonder if he goes this time in. I think a lot of these guys are just riding, saving fuel.
I think so too. They've been back there in the pack. You know, managing the runs, not keeping it flat foot, you know, just enough to keep up. That'll save you a little bit of fuel.
35
here
laps.
Comes Brian Kaufman.
We're looking, we got some that's going to try. Here, you're right. I mean, Corey Lane, Jim Brooks, they're going on lap 36. Dude, Spell in the 88. So now we're looking at 36 laps that they can do.
I think Michael W. Spell, he's going to be coming down pit road this time by, as well as looks like Corey Lane. Jim Brooks and Dude Conrad still stay out, so they were definitely back there saving some fuel, which is going to be advantageous for them later in the race. Maybe that last run not have to fill up as much, be a little bit lighter.
Well, he's running, Jim is running 6th gear all the way around, which saves fuel.
Oh, here comes him. Dude, going for another one.
Wow, okay. I'm trying to write this stuff down, and I think I'm about ready to go between lap 30 and lap 40 is when they'll have to make a pit stop.
That's a big range.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing about these. It saves so much fuel in these draft packs.
That's what I mean. I mean, there's different ways of saving fuel. How do you actually really know? I mean, you don't.
Dude coming this time right here. I think he's out of fuel.
Think he's out? Is he sputtering?
No. He's got some fuel.
No, he's sputtering.
Yeah, that's sputtering.
Yeah,
it's sputtering.
Stretched. He got lucky on that.
He's coasting her in. He got it though.
Going over to shoot it.
See who cycles back around as our leader.
Oh,
I hear some tires squealing.
I hear something squealing somewhere.
They've disappeared.
Yeah, Jim Brooks.
Did that? Was that? No, he's coming up that road.
No, it's not Jim. Did Dale?
Who was it? Dale's been gone for a while.
Oh, okay.
She didn't even.
I think it was Dude.
He didn't agree. Was it Dude? Did he lock him up going into his pit box?
I don't know. I think he was sliding coming up pit road. I don't know, but I heard it. But I know Jim Brooks cycled to the lead though. To that sequence. And a big lead of that.
Again.
Yeah, very good through his sequence.
And let's see
I don't know
here.
if did he take tires from it?
Yeah. Yeah, he had 7.8 pit stop with a 29 down pit lane, and he's running 6th gear all the way around.
He's saving fuel.
And if we go back to Brian, he's running 5th gear all the way around and shifting up to 6th on the backstretch. Wow, how did he get such a big leap?
Oh, I figured out what that squeal was. It was Brian Kaufman completely sideways coming out of 4, and he saved that.
Oh, and the apron. I did see that actually, now thinking about it.
Hit the apron, slide it all the way. Oh, well, he saved it initially, then went for grass. Still held on to it. I don't believe it.
Robert Richards almost had Jim Brooks there.
Yeah. I think Robert's just elected just to stay behind him here and probably save some fuel.
Yeah, he's running 6th gear all the way around too, and so is Jim. And then you come back here to Bud. He's running 5th gear around, trying to catch back up to them guys, which means he's burning a little bit more fuel. But he's 20 laps on his run though, so.
Robert Richards' big move to the inside. Down in turn 3 and 4, he cleared Jim Brooks.
Well, them two are going to battle. Let's see if Bud and Corey Lane here can catch up. They're about 1.7 seconds behind.
Now Jim Brooks going to do the same thing to him. I have to wonder if they're doing a little bit of leapfrog.
Oh yeah, they're doing the Indy stuff.
I think that's exactly what we're seeing here, Brian.
Yeah, we learned that last week.
We're a team channel together too, so.
And we learned it last week.
That's for sure. That's the way to do it.
Tango Draft. Looks like Robert Richards needs to get a little sponsorship put on that car. It's got some. I'm not sure what's on that car.
Yeah, you ought to get Sharpie on there. It's looking like a highlighter around the track.
There you go. Oh, man, this race is clipping away, man. They're already down to about 41 laps to go already.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you run mile and a half. Yep.
Yeah.
Where do we go next Tuesday with these Indy cars?
That is a good question.
I had it up. I believe it's a road course. No,
Pocono. I think next week, the week after that is they go to Canada, right?
Yeah, Canadian Tire.
Oh, Pocono's going to be very interested with these cars too. That's high speed too.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to run the new Pocono or the old. I'd imagine it's probably the new Pocono.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So, yeah.
I'd have to imagine in this car. Yeah. In this car, the only difference would be just the amount of bumps. So, in the stock car, it's grip level differences, but I think in these cars, the amount of grip, I imagine it'd be kind of tough to tell.
Well, I know
Except
once
on
we
tires.
I know when we unload up there next week, that's going to be your home track there, Brian. You know how to get around that track.
Well, I know how to get around there with about twice the weight.
Oh, true. But still, can't take away you know how to get around the track.
I try.
Well, I don't think you need to try, but...
These two guys have been battling.
Yeah, but look at the back of the field here, guys.
Caught them.
Yeah, 3rd, 4th, and 5th caught up to these guys. And there they are. They caught them fast.
Yeah, and I bet these other guys have been running 5th and 6th probably.
Took them 8 laps to catch up. So, remember that on the distance. Took 8 laps, and they were about 1.7 seconds behind, and it took 8 laps to catch up. So, see how that all plays out towards the end of the race, depending on if we stay green, which it's looking like we are going to.
Yeah, of course, that is Bud Steele just took second. He is on a different pit strategy than the rest of these guys. He's it's not going to be too long before he's going to have to pit again.
Yeah, because he ran fifth gear around the whole track almost, basically, so he chewed up a lot of fuel.
But if it works out and he times it right and he's done his math correct, if he can be in this position in about 35 laps, he'll be set to go.
Yeah, he'll be in position to win, and he's going to be seeing a pit stop, I think, very, very soon here. He pitted around lap 35, so I believe we'll be seeing him come to pit road in the next 3 to 4 laps.
Of course, he'll, you know, with our pit window being about 35 laps, he was at a 2-stop anyway, so I think he has done his math right, and it's going to work out. There's no mistakes on pit road. You see Charles Johnson, he had that mistake. He's now 3 laps down. You had Brian Kaufman, he had clipped the apron, got a little loose, went through the grass. Of course, he was up, you know, running first, second, third. Now he's 8.5 seconds behind these leaders here. So little mistakes can be pretty costly as Bud Steele, here he comes.
Let's watch Bud go down pit road here. Sure and here comes the 83. He's coming down too. I don't know if them two can hook up with each other. Watch them bring in that navy paint scheme. Come to a stop. All the way up, all the way down, 4 tires, and off he goes. Now we'll see how this all plays out for him.
It's interesting these other guys decide, because they're all within 8. They're all able to make it now.
Yeah, they got 30 laps to go. So, like you said, Zach, everybody's in their fuel window. It's now, when do you want to pit? How much time do you want to give up? If you give up any time in these cars, I would imagine you do a little bit.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Because you can't run full throttle the whole time. So, I mean, but the question is how much? Well, I guess you can.
Yeah,
but
you can.
Again, how much do you give up is the question. You know.
I think being in the pack is what's going to help mostly. Because we'll see what times Bud Steele runs out here. You're at 24:11. Greg Jim Brooks is 24:21, so only a 10th faster. You know, personally, that's, you know, it's not going to.
That's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
I mean, there is virtually no fall off on these cars.
Yeah.
Looking at Jim Brooks's lap times, I mean, they're anywhere between 24.1s and 24.4s throughout the entire run. The majority of them are 22.2s and 3s. I mean, it's the same for 20, 30 laps. So short pitting isn't going to help you. There's really not a whole lot, just besides being faster than
a splash of fuel. If these guys stretch it as far as they can.
Well, they can take no tires.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
No tires and a splash
you could take.
of fuel.
Well, see, and the good thing about these cars, if I remember correctly, because in the stock cars you have to do it by, there's different steps of gallons. You got like 1.7 and it jumps up to 3.8 or whatever it does. There's some pretty big gaps. And these, I think you could do like each gallon, so you can be more specific. And, I mean, that'll save you even more time.
Oh, I noticed these the cars behind Jim here. They're He just looks like he's out there running his line, run the low line, and they're not catching him. Looks like everybody just, excuse me, everybody equaled out there. I mean, lap times and everything. Jim ran a 24-1 to everybody's 24-2s. So
I think you know, right now they might be trying to keep up with him and pass him, maybe, but I think right now there's just really no point in trying to make a move because you do have to pit again. So I mean, if it were me, I'd just kind of ride behind him and see if I can pick up this ground on pit road and pitting. If I can get a better entry and a better exit than him, then by the time we get back on the track, I've passed him.
yeah, well, they would have to do the short pit because Jim is now about a lap to 3 laps better on fuel than the guys behind him. So if he needs to, he can rough it out and right, Zach? Oh, Zach took off, Brian. Dog was barking. He was roughing it.
I see what you did there. You know, the dogs were barking, and then you had to use the word rough. So that was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, he's got to rough it out a little bit here, and it's okay. I know how it is. But anyways, what I was saying is that he's looking better as that first stint that he had there, his second pit stop. He stayed out a lot longer than everybody else, so he's basically he's holding the field. I mean, these cars behind him can't sit. Well, they never mind. They pitted.
See, I don't know how he's doing it because he's been, you know, in the other run, the run before this, you know, he was in the pack, so he could save some fuel by drafting, but he's been in clean air the whole time. I don't know how he could go just as long or longer. Oh, besides him pitting later before.
Right. Which was only about a lap to 3 laps difference. I mean, really. And
Here he
comes.
So he's going to pit with 26 laps to go. 27.
Hmm?
So he'll be able to...
I got 18.
Oh, 18? It is 18. I've added 10 laps. See, I want to stay here all night.
Well, we adding laps here, or okay? I mean, if we are,
I told you earlier I can only count to 3. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I can only count to 2. You're a lot better than I am.
Oh, there we go. 33% better.
Well, here comes the question.
Yeah, Jim, he just took some fuel right there. That was a very, very quick stop.
I get showing his stop was a 7.4. I don't know if he took tires or not. I don't know.
It's tough to tell.
I know he's got a 3-second lead over Bud.
Yeah. And we know Bud caught him before. But it took him 8 laps to pick up a 1.5 seconds, a little over a 1.5 seconds. Now he's got 0.4 seconds to pick up. So going by that, the pace that he set last run, he's going to run out of laps.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough of time.
Although he did pick up 4/10 that time, down to 3 seconds. He does have Corey Lane to help draft there, 10th behind.
I don't think. No. There's just no way. They don't have enough.
Sorry about that, guys. Did Jim Brooks just pit?
Yeah, he roofed it out.
Pit.
Okay.
Yep, we are all tires. Well, see, we were just talking about that, and we can't tell because he had a 7-second pit stop. So I think, yeah, it probably took tires, but maybe some light fuel.
Yeah,
definitely took tires. It jacked up.
Oh, he did? Okay, I couldn't even tell. But now we got Bud Steele about 3 seconds behind him. He's only picking up about a 1/10 a lap. So, I don't think there's enough time. Jim can keep it clean. and we can keep it green, he'll be setting sail.
Yeah. But really, the battle now is going to be for second and third.
Yeah, that's the closest intervals. Well, second and third and fourth and fifth.
Yeah.
Sixth and seventh might pick up in a handful of laps, maybe.
Seventh and eighth.
Catch might be a spell. Yeah, seventh and eighth is pretty close.
If I remember correctly, dude said he doesn't like these cars, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back in ninth, and I'm sure he's a few choice words for this car. But you gotta give him props. At least he's out there trying.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he wasn't doing too bad earlier in the race. You know, he was up in front.
He's probably saying, why did I buy this car?
But still down to a 2.2 second interval with 10 laps to go. See what it is this time by. Just another 10th, not even a 10th. So.
No, he's going to be about a half a second. If he stays at this pace with 9 laps to go, he's going to be about a half a second behind on the last lap, roughly.
Man, that's a shame. I mean, half a second in these cars is it's pretty close.
Yeah, well, if he can start to get the draft about a second, you know, it might pick up. And there's more cars than just Jim Brooks, so if they can get within the second half of those cars, maybe they can start to suck up better. We'll see. There's going to be 7 to go this time by.
Was that lap car there? Was that? He got pretty tight in the turbulence.
Charles Johnson.
Charles Johnson, yeah. That mistake on pit road. 5 laps down now.
1.8 seconds behind, going down the backstretch. 7 laps. Getting ready to start lap number 6. I just don't, unfortunately, I don't see it, guys. Unless Jim does something majorly, but...
Which he had. I didn't get to see the end of last week's race, but from what I did see, I mean, Jim, he's got a pretty good handle on these cars. Just like Charles, you know, Charles can do those crazy moves, but Jim is just incredibly consistent.
Yeah. He told me at the beginning of the season, like I told you guys last week, this is his forte. These are his cars. That's what I call forte, but whatever. But these are his cars. He knows how to work them. He knows how to move. He knows how to race them. He just feels comfortable in these things. And it shows. He's looking to go back-to-back here. Start out the season, which is going to give him a good points lead.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 4 to go. The lead's cut down to a 1.4. I don't think there's enough time.
They need about 5 or 10 more laps.
Yeah, because once starting the draft, it's really going to start to pick up in a hurry. But just don't think it's enough time. This lap car here might help. The dirtier may not, though. 3 to go. Jim Brooks looking to go back-to-back. Can't forget about something I don't want to say because it might jinx him, but there may be a caution, ladies and gentlemen. You never know.
Well, that's okay. He'll bring out the magic trick. He's got the black hat. He'll pull a bunny out. He'll hop in the tank and get out.
2 to go, but still big lap there. 23.86.
Yeah.
1.1 back, but missing the bottom of 1-2 right there. Still getting the big draft though. We're coming to the white flag this time by.
Oh, I said about a half a second, roughly. Yeah. I just don't think
he's gonna be a big lap time here.
Wow, I did the math right. Get out of here.
Down to 8/10. White flag in the air. I don't think he's out of time, but
he didn't even need 5 laps. He needed 2.
Here comes Corey Lane. He's gonna try to get second, maybe from Bud.
Oh my God! Did I hit this number right? 5 points at 4.
You did.
Get out of here! Chalk this one up.
Jim
Good.
Brooks back to back. But still coming in 3/10 back. Wow.
Yeah, he needed 2 more laps.
Yeah, 2 more laps.
But,
Wow.
you know, he may have finished second today, but it's a good bounce back from last week.
Yeah.
Last week he got wrecked out, couldn't finish. But this week, or he may have finished, but he was like, it was a bad race for him. So this week, definitely a good rebound for him, good points night.
And also shout out to Corey Lane there in third. I think it's his first podium with us here, at least for me broadcasting.
I think so.
I think so too.
That's awesome to see him get a great run here tonight in that Tim machine, and he'll get to talk with Soda Can Johnson.
Ooh,
He sure
yeah.
will, but you know, Jim Brooks, he's gonna have to talk to Robert. And,
For the second time in a row.
Yay.
Yeah, second time in a row, he is undefeated in these IndyCars in 2020.
He is looking strong, I must say. And hey, Robert, he wasn't lying to you, that's for sure.
Logan out on Facebook, he says, "Go whoever. I don't even know who to root for." He's just like, "Yeah, go, yay, win the race, whoever." All right. Well, we'll get ready to have our post-race interview here with Jim Brooks, back-to-back winner here tonight. And then we'll have Bud Steele finishing strong in that 6. And then Corey Lane, which we never got to have an interview. We'll get to have a chat with him too real quick. So we'll be right back after this quick word.
in the outside contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
All right, we're back after that quick word there from iRacing. Best game in the world. If you want to look for sim racing, man, make sure you check out iRacing.com. And if you're looking to join a league, make sure you check out Area 51 on Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, and Sunday nights. But guess what, guys? We have our top 3 here tonight's race after Texas Motor Speedway with Jim Brooks taking the win.
Yes, we do. And third place man here, Corey Lane. Brian, you ready to get a talking with him?
Yeah, let's see what he's got to say.
All right, we'll bring him on up.
Hey, Corey Lane, it's Brian in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Hey, man, well, congrats on your third place finish. You started here 4th tonight at Texas. It was a pretty decent race. Only one caution, I believe. A bunch of green flag laps, had a couple green flag pit stops, and you were right up there in the mix of it. How was it from inside that open cockpit tonight?
It was fun. Couple sketchy close things with me, but I just tried at the end there. Tried to stick with Bud and push him to the lead. We almost got it.
Yeah, it was close. We were keeping a very close eye on that interval between Jim and Bud, and I think, man, y'all just needed a couple more laps, and y'all would have been in the mix of it. But you did a great job coming back from, I think it was like 3.5 seconds with about 15 to go. So you gave it everything you had, but just not quite enough tonight. But we up here in the booth, we're kind of new to these Indy cars, so we're trying to get a handle on these things. And one of the things we were talking about tonight was, you know, in the stock cars coming out of 2 here, it can be kind of hectic because the car wants to push out to the wall and then it wants to loosen up on you. But in these Indy cars, is it kind of a similar deal? Does it want to kind of push up when that track flattens out, or does the aero on the car kind of help to keep it out of the wall a little bit?
If I'm following real close, I'll get pushed out to the third lane real easily. But if I'm on good tires, then I can hold the second and first real good.
Okay, so it's just kind of a dirty air thing going on there. Well, that's good to know. But you know, again, congratulations, third place finish here tonight. I believe it's your first podium here on Freaky Fast. So, is there anybody you'd like to give a quick shout out to?
Just shout out to the league and the guys that I race with. Good bunch of guys to race with, and it's fun to come here each week to race.
I hear you. It's fun to come watch you guys run around these tracks. You put on a great show. Well, again, congrats, third place here tonight, IndyCars, Texas, Area 51. And we will see you here maybe tomorrow night, but definitely next week.
Yep, we'll be back here on Friday. I think, no, that's Friday for me, so Thursday. Yeah. All right, I'll see you later.
Yep, see you later, man.
All right. That was our third place man, McCoy Lane.
I do believe he's from overseas, so
yeah, he's Australian.
Australia,
yeah, Australian. He's living in the future.
All right,
that's true. It'll be Friday for him when we're there Thursday.
In the future. Are you kidding me? Ain't that it's the truth? But I haven't heard that since 2014. Oh my goodness. Okay, go for yourself.
Well, you're living in the past.
Yeah, I am. I used to have an Australian friend that unfortunately passed away from cancer, but he used to always say that, "I'll see you. I'm living in the future." He used to say it all the time. But God bless him. But go ahead.
All righty. Well, on to our second place man. Came very, very close, but I'm gonna get talking here with Bud Steele.
2 laps of fuel left.
Hey, Bud, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man.
Hey, Zach, how you doing, man?
I am doing fantastic, Bud, after this excellent race you guys put on here tonight. And really, the first thing I got to ask you, just, you know, of course, you started in second tonight. You brought it home in second. Let these viewers out here know, you know, how it was around here at Texas Motor Speedway tonight in the IndyCar.
Well, this is, you know, basically a one-lane track. When you get on the bottom, it's tough to pass unless you've really got enough room to lay back going into turn 1, and then drop down, you know, with a pretty good gap and get that draft and run off. And you can complete a pass if you got the room. That's why I was hoping to get the gym there at the end. I came up about 1 lap short of being able to try to do that and racing back to the line. That was a heck of a race.
That it was, Bud. Like you said, you came up just a little bit short. Maybe you just needed a few more laps. You actually answered the next question I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you if you had anything planned, the move that you were going to make on Jim, if you did get there. Now, I'll change that up a little bit. Is there anything you think you could go back and change, maybe to have been closer earlier with maybe the pit sequence or anything like that?
No, I stayed out for a reason, because these cars, you don't lose a lot of speed from worn tires, and because I was turning about the same laps at the end, but that is because they get lighter. And that's what I was trying to do, is run as many light laps as possible, especially coming down to the end where, you know, I might have an advantage because they have, you know, a couple gallons more fuel than I do. I mean, I still had two laps of fuel when I finished there. And, you know, that's about the way I planned it.
Definitely. Yeah, it seems like lots of strategies going on there with inside these cars, and you know, up here in the booth, we're learning a lot. I would say I don't have a lot of experience in IndyCar at all, and we go to Pocono next week, so What are you expecting to see? Because you seem pretty experienced, bud.
Oh, Pocono's that's a great track for these cars. Runs a lot like Indy, except a little more lifting required there than at Indy. You just have to, and especially with the long front straight, you really got to, plan your passes, a lap or two ahead. And then hopefully get with someone. Jim and I, we run a lot together, and usually if we can hook up, you can definitely do a lot of leapfrogging at Pocono, and get a good lead on folks if you have the opportunity to do that.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see that next week. But before we let you go for your second place finish tonight here, man, anybody wants to send a shout out to?
Oh, big thanks to you guys. You all do such a cool job with these broadcasts. Love watching them. And like to say special hello to a young lady out there, and hope she's doing well. And all these guys at Area 51 that come out and race. It's a great group of guys.
Well, thank you, bud. We surely appreciate the words. And yeah, you have a great night.
Hey, before you go, bud, sorry to interrupt here, Zach. I got a message. You don't have to let anybody know until Thursday night, but how did that bet go for you?
You'll see. Oh, I put a preview up on our Facebook page. You might have saw it.
I seen I didn't have to see it on the. Somebody already got a hold of me this morning even before I was up.
Well, I mean, I'm not a fan of Alabama by no means. I did it for fun with Charles, just to see what happened. I would have been rooting for LSU, but yeah, I'll be pretty in pink come Thursday.
Yeah, well, everybody out there watching, and we'll make sure we remind everybody tomorrow night, and I'll fill in Brian and Zach then after the broadcast exactly what's going on with that. But I love it. It's awesome. So everybody out there that's watching, make sure you tune in on Thursday night, because it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Awesome.
or funny. Yeah.
Funny. Yeah, funny. Hey, I'm going to have a great time. So, I mean, I'll let you go, bud. Talk to you later, man.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks,
Awesome.
Robert.
Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah,
Later on,
thank
bud.
you guys. Yeah, but
All right, guys. That was our second place man of Bud Steele. And
Yes.
I also want to point out something real quick. We did mess up. We were saying Corey Lane's from Australia. I want to point out he's from New Zealand.
New Zealand. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, he sent me the same thing. I told
Okay,
him,
yeah.
sorry, we're us Americans are ignorant sometimes.
we're not good at, we're not good at I guess I'm not good at reading accents like that. But,
Well,
definitely.
then ignore what I said, but still, God bless the guy I know from Australia.
He's still living in the future, though.
It's exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, same.
All right, Corey.
I
I think
Sorry about
I
that.
feel like
Go ahead.
oh yeah, I feel like Bud lost a bet.
Yeah, I'll fill you
Yeah.
guys in then. It's posted all over
They'll see
Facebook.
Thursday.
But yeah, I'll fill you guys in. But
Looking
again,
forward to it.
sorry, Corey. God bless you, man, and we love you. But hey, I'm down here with Jim Brooks, a back-to-back champion, back-to-back winner. So, Jim, Robert up here in the booth. You got a copy there, buddy?
Yeah, I do, Robert. Go ahead.
All right. Well, hey, man, congratulations on getting back-to-back wins here on Tuesday night with Area 51 here in the Indy cars. You take the win at Indy, and then you turn around and you take the win here at Texas. You didn't have to bring out the Magic Jim, because my nickname for you now is the Magic Man, just so you know. But after that first yellow, man, you stayed out for a long flag run, and everybody else pitted. I'm assuming that was your game strategy, but how was the race for you out there? And let everybody know how it all worked out for you.
Yeah, I mean, after the caution, it was like, okay, if we stay green, I'm going to take it to the last possible lap, and I wanted to get at least lead a lap there to get the point. But then when I came out, I was battling a little bit with Robbie, I think, and was able to get past him. And then he just didn't fight it much. And then I took it all the way and actually ran out of gas as I pulled in my pits on the last pit stop. But I just, probably didn't need to go that close, but I wanted to have every lap I could in case.
Right. Well, we did stay green, and we stayed green through the whole thing. And you ran it out as far as you can, and it came down to the end of the race there, and Bud and Corey, they were catching you fast. And I said, we tried to figure it all out, and it looked like they were going to be about a half a second behind you for the win. What was your game plan looking in the rear view, watching your ticker, and everything, and them getting closer and closer and closer? Did you think, okay, I do have enough? Or if they would have caught you, what was your next move?
Yeah, I was keeping a pretty close eye on the time, and then it kept, getting closer, and I didn't have anybody to run with to try to leapfrog to gain what they were doing. I thought Charles was going to help me, but he didn't, so I just went on my own. And it was mostly, they could have caught me, but they were going to have to pass me on the outside, and that wasn't going to be easy. So Bud, there's a chance. He's a pretty sneaky old guy, so it was just a matter of just, hope that the laps ran out before they got to me, and it worked that way.
Yeah. Well, you take it home, like I said, back to back. Next week we head to good old Pocono. How do you feel about that track? From what we were told from Bud, it's a pretty fun track to race with these cars.
Oh yeah, no, Pocono's great. I mean, it's so different, but and like I said last time, these cars are fun everywhere. I mean, Phoenix is not my favorite. I mean, when we get there, I'll bet you money that Bud wins that race, because he just has that somehow special. But yeah, Pocono's great. We'll have fun there.
Oh yeah. Well, you said these cars are in your wheelhouse, man, and you've been showing it here so far, taking it back to back. So you get a great points lead there for a little bit, and we head off to Pocono next week, next Tuesday, in these Indy cars. Just one question is that going to be the new Pocono or the old?
Pretty sure it's the new. I think that it's a smoother, nicer.
So, yeah, much better track, like you said. So, all right, man. Well, I'm not sure if you're going to be here tomorrow for the recruitment race, but we do go to Indy for 75 laps in these cars at the recruitment race. Are you going to be there, or are you going to be at Minton?
Being as we have lower turnouts for these, I'll probably go ahead and race that one, but I'll, probably stay more to the back until later and then see what happens. But you can't not want to race these cars if you get
right. Okay, well, before I let you go, man, does anybody want to give a shout out for your race win here tonight and your race team or anything like that out there?
Yeah, just Area 51 and Charles and all of us, the work we put is really well worth it, and all the people we get to race. And Bud told me I was supposed to say last time that he taught me everything I know, so I figured I'll lie and say that this time.
He'll hear it when he goes back and watches the replay. That was for you, Bud.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, man. Well, hey, congratulations, and we will catch you tomorrow night at Indy, hopefully out on the track. If not, might be able to bring you down to the booth and have a little chat with you before we do our recruitment race with these guys tomorrow. But again, congratulations, man.
Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it. Thanks for your coverage.
All right, that was our winner tonight, Jim Brooks, back-to-back here, Indianapolis and Texas Motor Speedway. You can say Jim Brooks' name is beside those two.
Yeah, I call him Magic Man. That's just the way I'm going to call him now. But all right, well, hey, man, guys, I got the final results up here, unofficial results here at Texas Motor Speedway here with Area 51 in these Indy cars. We had looks like a total of actually 14 cars grid here tonight. So if we want to run through the final 14 here, then we'll move on.
Let's do it. But tonight, your winner, like we said, back to back, he's racking them up pretty quickly. We got Jim Brooks in the 76 finishing first here tonight. Behind him, close second, pushed hard, couldn't quite get there, needed a couple more laps. Bud Steele, he's going to be your second place finisher. And Corey Lane from New Zealand is going to be your third place guy. And then we got David Leclerc in 4th. Jack Walls is going to round out the top 5. Michael W. Spell in 6th. Brian Kaufman 7th. James Ledford in 8th. Dude Conrad 9th. Robert Richards in 10th. Kyle Hess in 11th. Timothy T. Wright in 12th. Charles Johnson in 13th. And Eric Laurie, the old the grinding man. He tried to grind the wall like a skateboard. He's going to finish in 14th here tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately. And then we got a good old Dale there that did not grid here tonight. But all right, well, what are you guys' final thoughts about this race here and what we see now as we're learning these Indy cars going from Indy to Texas, and then we head to Pocono?
Well, something stuck out to me that Bud said. He said it was kind of he said a 1-lane racetrack, and I was like, man, well, we got that wrong, didn't we?
I did too. I thought the same thing.
As soon as he said that, I was like, oh man, we missed that one. So
yeah, we missed the
definitely
memo.
got something to learn with these, a lot to learn, I guess. So I found that interesting because we saw him run the bottom lane, the middle lane, and the high lane, but it seems like just that bottom lane is the preferred lane to run and to pass. We saw it where guys were trying to get runs on the outside and they just could never do it, and I guess that's why, because it's you got to run the bottom, got to pass on the inside, and so that's and Jim Brooks, he said that if second and third were going to get to him, he's going to make him pass him on the outside, which is pretty much impossible, which is good to know. Good to know moving on in the next few weeks. But they put on a fantastic race. I had a bunch of green flag laps, a couple green flag pit stops, and we had several moments there where we had 1st through 8th all within a second, running nose to tail. It was great. These Indy cars are a great thing to watch, and I'm enjoying it.
Same here, Brian. It's been a learning curve, that's for sure. But what a great race these guys put on. 1 caution and the Indy car around here at Texas. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like a boring race. It stayed interesting the whole way. We had to monitor gaps and stuff like that. So I'm really happy with what we had to do here tonight. And yeah, it's just been an awesome season to kick off 2020, and I can't wait for Pocono next week. But I'm really excited for the next week to see who's the man to be on the road. Side stuff with this open wheel stuff. I'm very intrigued by that. So I'm working that on my calendar here in 2 weeks. But Pocono, that's going to be a great stop in between there to Canada.
Yes, I am. What I took away from this is basically 2 things. One, I second what you said there, Zach. The race wasn't boring, not like a lot of some races that you've seen. It was actually a pretty good race, if you ask me. Hold on a minute here. The game is, I think the server. All right, give me a second here. I think the server just timed out. All right, well, the screen is locked, so just everybody knows out there, the server actually timed out, ran out of time. Anyways, I was taken away from it came down to fuel mileage and everything that we needed to see. That's awesome. That stuff that you don't see too much, and especially with the Indy cars. And second, what I got out of the tires getting light. The longer you run them, the tires kept getting lighter and lighter. Which was very interesting to me. So I don't know much about Indy, so I'm going to look into that. And I understand what he was saying, but I want to investigate more into exactly know what he was saying about that with the tires being light, because that was interesting to me. That he said that on a fuel run. So
he's talking about the fuel of the car.
Yeah, and he makes it, but the way he said tires getting light, and with the fuel. So I mean that's. Anyways,
yeah.
I mean, he said tires. The tires get light, so I guess he gets light because of the fuel. Is what you're saying?
I mean, with less fuel, the car should be more agile and want to turn more,
which will make the tires lighter.
Quicker. Yeah, I mean, it should be lighter on the tire. I mean, cars that tend to have heavy fuel loads burn tires up faster than a car that has a lower fuel load.
Right. I got that. It's maybe it's just the way he worded it. I read into it a little different. So again, I apologize. Whatever. Don't go off what I say.
It may affect tire wear like that. So that's maybe what he's saying. Like it may be lighter on the tires with the you know, but yeah. So these cars is all about weight though for sure. So
yeah. So all right, well guys, hey man, well we're gonna sign off. We will be live again tomorrow night at 8:55 here with Area 51 as they have their second race for the recruitment race. It'll be at Indy with the Indy cars, 75 laps. So make sure you tune in to that, and then you'll get the special announcement for Thursday night on exactly what all happened there. And I'll fill these guys up here in the booth exactly what's going on with that. So, but until then, everybody, if we don't talk to you tomorrow night, hopefully we talk to you the rest of the week. If not, have a great week, and we'll catch you on the next broadcast.
Later.
Yeah.
Later, fellas.
See, I'm all messed up because my screen's locked. But God bless everybody. Love yous all. Peace out.
Peace out.